So this is probably video 3 about the CRV, Honda CRV leak. And I really don't want to say it too quick, but I think I've actually fixed it after having this problem for ages. So in the last video, which was an hour ago, I showed you all this and the spider webs and whatnot, which really doesn't affect anything. But I cleaned it out with a vacuum and sealed up on that piece there. And then, you know, it makes it a hell of a lot easier to see now. Also sealed up all those cracks where I thought they may have been some of the problem down in there. But yeah, I'm still not sure about that. But hey, it all helps towards one drip here and a drip there. Every little crack up there I'd done as well. And then I took it outside for a test. Sorry, it's not focusing. Yeah, there we go. I took it outside for a test and it still dripped, but it was way more obvious to me now where it was coming from, and which I always sort of knew, but I thought it was up here. Anyway, after... yeah, so after all of that, I remember I took this panel off along here just so I could really actually see more. I noticed that all along, like I was saying, the water was dripping down, eventually dripping off this piece here, and then I could definitely see it landing on here, trickling down the inside of this, and basically all running down. There was a few extra drips running off the, you know, the back bit up there and off a couple of wires, so it definitely narrowed it down to being from this part and not so much up under the, you know, further to the front there. Yeah, so I tracked it. I had to keep tracking it all the way up. Obviously, after it's been raining a lot, or you've hosed the car, when you open the door, all this rain here is going to run in, exactly like you're seeing right there, and then sometimes run under the car into this bit and drip down, so might get confused with that. But I had this rubber off here because I tracked it all the way up there, and as you can see, it's bloody rusty. Tracked it all the way up there, and then realised once I pulled this off again, I tried this in the past, but I didn't see anything. There was water running down on the inner one, and there was only one place it was coming from. And also proven it by when I pulled this off, which I'll do now because I don't care if it breaks now. Well, I do really. Oh shit! No, I can't do it with one hand. Hang on. Okay, right. Hang on a sec. Oops. Okay. It is kind of hard to get it off, but anyway, you see it. You pull this, the front front panel off here, the front A-pillar panel, and I could see a little bit of evidence of the water dripping down from here. So it didn't even look like much though, and I just assumed, no, it can't be the result. That puddle down there, that was there, couldn't be the result of a few drips coming from up under here. But I think it was. When I pulled this off earlier, there was still a drip here, there was a little bit running down here, there was water on the inside of this thing here, and it was just coming under this crack here. There's still some right there, but nothing like it was. Even if it's at one drip, I'll be happy with that. I did force the hose right on that area just before, so I hope that's the reason I've got that drip there. Yeah, so that water was running down from, you know, I thought it might have been this. Forgive me my terrible silicone, but I was getting over it at the end. I was just putting it wherever. It definitely wasn't coming from the windscreen, which means it had to be in this area. I already sealed this up last time, and I did it again. I unscrewed it just to check, but it definitely wasn't it. So I pulled this back off, which I'd had done in the past already, and I really couldn't see bugger all, but there was one crack along there, underneath this thing. Sorry, I've already put it together. I should have left it off. But there was a crack in the original sealant, and as I was hitting it with the screwdriver, I could see the water splashing out from underneath it. And there's 2 screws here that hold onto this piece of roof rack. So I thought, well, it's worth giving it a go, because obviously I tracked all the water all the way up here, and it can only be one spot. When I squirted the hose, it was dry from here back, so it had to be getting in somewhere along here. And then, so if you grab onto those little pins that hold onto this, the 2 nuts, I guess you'd call it, bolts, when you give it a real good wiggle, you can move them. And I thought, well, when you tighten this thing up, it sort of lifts the screws even higher off the frame here, off the car, and which would probably leave more of a crack for the water to run under the sealant. So again, I completely sealed all of it, nice and smooth underneath there, and hopefully it stops the leak, because I've already taken outside for 2 good hose downs in this particular area, right along here, right along the windscreen and all that, and hopefully, like I said, it stops dripping. I had one just before on the camera, but I had a hell of a lot coming down there. And then let's keep in mind that there could have been some water still in there from earlier before as well. So yeah, I really hope that does help some people, because this can relate to the passenger side as well. I mean, the roof racks are exactly the same. So if it does leak on your floor over there, it could be the exact same thing happening. And I hope I hope it is an easy fix. So now I'll just keep an eye on it, see what happens. It looks dry. I mean, there's still that little bit of water along here. I just didn't dry it up fully before I'd done this one. But I can't even see anything coming down now. So I hope after all this bloody time I've fixed it. If not, I'll make another video. But yeah, let me know how you guys get on, if you have the same problem. Yeah, I think this is me for now, but I'm sure. Well, fingers crossed I won't be talking about this leak again. Okay, cheers.